Naya Tapper, the speedster, on the wing. Butterflies in the stomach as the teams are let out for this cup final. United States, of course, last season reached the final in Sydney where they were beaten by Canada. They're hoping to go one better. Less than 12 months on here in Dubai against Australia. Of course, Olympic gold medalists and former champions on the circuit. Last year, they spent 12 months in the shadow of New Zealand, but they're looking to start this season with a bang, a cup title and a gold medal in their back pocket. Beautiful evening for rugby here as the sun just fades into the background. The floodlights are on and the crowd in party mode as they have been all day. They need very little excuse here to celebrate, and there have been plenty of tries across the men's and women's tournaments throughout the morning and afternoon. This, though, for the women, is the final, and this is what it's all about. As always, we will have the national anthems before kick-off. And we'll pause for both teams. Of America, the Star-Spangled Banner, and before that, Advance Australia Fair. I tell you though, the majority of this, both teams, Mel Robinson, they're smiling, they're happy, don't look nervous at all. This is the cup final here.
Yeah, I think both teams will really enjoy being in the final. For Australia, they made one at the end of last season, of course, but it was a bit of a journey for them from the Sydney Sevens in particular, where they ended up fourth. Here's our referee for this one, Sarah Cox. But for the United States, this is a challenge. They are the underdogs. They are going to have to get super aggressive and use their big girls like Gustatus and Naya Tapper. She needs a big one. She needs to suck it up. She's the difference if her team is to really challenge Australia, who have been so slick so far in this tournament. Is the blueprint for the United States of America and how they managed to beat New Zealand, that pressure game, getting up in their faces and not allowing Australia the time and space to play? Yeah, and keeping the ball. Not classic sevens, but they keep it tight. They do the rucks, they keep the continuity going. That is how they will win the ball. Starve Australia.
14 minutes of sevens rugby to decide our Dubai champions in the 2018 Women's Sevens Series. First touch for Naya Tapper, and it's a pretty good one, breaking the first tackle, but not that of Vanya Politi, who puts her down, and Alan Kelter, who's been such a brilliant influence on this United States team over the last 3 or 4 years. Everything that they do well goes through their red-headed playmaker. The United States just sweeping back and trying to just settle into this game. Sarah Parsons with the pass to Tapper again. Second touch for her, and she skips away. We know she's got loads of pace as Tapper crosses the halfway line. Wrapped up by Politi again, who's sticking to her like glue on a shoe. Still there for America. Drifting across is the big figure of Abby Gastaitis. A real find for Richie Walker and his coaching team. Picked off the base. United States happy just to keep possession. Parsons once more. Big, imposing, physical figure of the American number 8. Australia told to leave it, and they just have to defend for the time being and hope that they get a chance to get their hands on this ball sooner rather than later. Carried in by Blythe. Ball at the base of the ruck again. Parsons takes the pass, and then again 2 to bring her down. Look at the leg pump, but equally good tackle that time from Shannon Parry, and the gold scrum cap and the gold jersey, conceding the penalty.
The United States need to start running straight. They're cribbing across the field. They're not seeing the holes in front of them. They must run straight.
Heveland wastes no time in getting on with it. And a chance here for Kelter, still on her feet. Runs into the challenge, Alan Kelter. Inside Australia's 22. USA looking for the perfect start. Gastaitis couldn't get the hands free. Emily Cherry in to try and turn over possession and wins the penalty. Emily Cherry on her feet. And Australia wastes no time tapping and going. Action-packed start. Shannon Parry, bit of space on the outside, is going to back herself. Shannon Parry could be foot tripped. The chase is on. Dragged to the ground. Parsons still there for Australia. Kansnick, 2 outside her. Cherry has missed out. It's Tony Gatto. Emma Tony Gatto back inside to Emily Cherry. Back to Tony Gatto. And Tony Gatto strikes for Australia.
Australia toyed with the United States defence like a cat playing with a dead mouse, because you can see here, first and foremost, the break. It was Sarah Parsons who missed a tackle. She didn't quite have the pace, but Parry was taken down in the end. But then the speed with what they moved the ball over here. Tongagato knew that the defence from the United States was under duress, and so she had put that inside ball and got an outside ball back to her, and poor old Naya Tapper, there was nothing she could do.
Conversion attempt. Tony Gatto, here we see it again. Brilliant interplay between the two. The presence of mind to create the space and then realign to get behind the ball carrier. That's what they're playing for. This is the trophy here in Dubai, and it's Australia who make the most of their first strike inside USA's 22. 5 points on the board in 7 rugby. That can be wiped out in a matter of seconds. But USA did not take their chance when they had it. And I wonder if that will fester in the minds of this team. Kelter claims the restart, wrestling with Shannon Parry for possession. Parsons digs it off the base. And now the United States trying to set another attack from well inside their own half. Again, awkward defending. Sharni Williams there making a nuisance of herself. Parsons fires the one to Tapper. The problem that Tapper finds is that she's going to be more than matched for speed, but on she goes to the outside. Tapper against Kasnick. Kasnick comes across. Tapper with the fend once, and then a brilliant ankle tackle from Charlotte Kasnick. The brilliant sweeper role that she plays so well. And turnover ball for Tony Gatto, the try scorer. 69 tries in her international sevens career, Emma Tony Gatto. And she wins the penalty. Kasnick had to make that hit. Here's Cherry once more. 2 on her outside shoulder. Kasnick takes it. 2-handed carry from Charlotte Kasnick, and then the offload. 1-handed to Polite. Back to Kasnick, who wasn't expecting it. And Australia slow things down a little. Picked off the base. Sharni Williams stealing down the blind side. Williams won't be caught, and Sharni Williams, the experienced, wise old head, shows a brilliant turn of pace to get Australia's second try, and it's come from nothing.
Shani Williams, she saved it for the big one, the final. It wasn't tidy for Australia, but status there. So was Sarah Parsons. She needed to identify that Shani Williams was going to pick it up. She was right there. She should have made the tackle. But what's happening here is that the speed of the ball, the way the Aussies are using it, is actually, I guess, exposing the lack of speed from some of the power players that the Americans have in their team. Australia are playing brilliantly.
USA so reliant on Naya Tapper, and she was almost away from Charlotte Caslick. The work rate of Caslick to make the tackle on Tapper and be involved in the lead up to that try as well. She is an engine bunny, that one. Relentless stuff. And the restart now from Australia. Emma Sykes to get us back underway. 10 points to the good, a minute to go at the end of the first half. The Aussies in control so far. Tapper underneath the high ball. Kamapani was, and then the offload to Blythe. Reaching for it. Tony Gatto reading that little flick pass from Gustitis, but again America pumping the legs, winning a bit of territory. Trying to find any holes in this Australian defence. There have been none so far. Again, Blythe has to take the tackle. Australia don't roll away in time, penalty.
USA need to use their big players like Gustatus to hit the ball up straight. Sarah Parsons the same. Instead they're playing the wide game. I'm not sure if that suits them as well as it does Australia. They should play to their strengths. Use this young lady to just hit it up. What's that little All Blacks fan doing supporting Australia?
It's unheard of.
Yes, look on the screen.
It's like the Irish supporting the English or vice versa. It just doesn't happen, eh?
No, Anzac.
Yes,
Yes,
just back a little bit.
yes.
There you go. See, crouch.
Their neighbours and great
Right.
rivals. Australia
Set.
with the scrum as the half-time hooter sounds here. Caslick to feed. Little pop ball to Sykes. Two outsider. One of them is Emily Cherry. And Dom Dutoy has just come onto the pitch, some fresh legs onto the wing. Dominique Dutoy slipped as she went into contact, and it was a high tackle. Sykes picks it off the base and then tackled by Olive Kelter. Cherry working to try and recycle. Penalty Australia, and Dom Dutoy gets play back underway. Here's Caslick. Tony Gatto. It's two outsider, two-handed carry, and across the pitch she goes, creating the space for Politi, and Ivania Politi makes it 3 Australia tries. They've got one hand on the trophy already. Ivania Politi, a cracking weekend in Dubai, and her 34th international sevens try. It's a long way back for USA.
Brilliant. Once again, the inside runner there for Australia who gave the pass to Politi was the one that sucked in the defence. Sarah Parsons came off Politi. Here it is, Tongan Gato. You see the two American defenders in on her. And Politi too good to leave open like that. Same for Tongan Gato in terms of pass.
Ivania Politi finishes off a very impressive first half from Australia. 3 tries to the good, none so far from USA. Half-time, it's America 0, Australia 17.
Form up on these kickoffs. They've got 3 in a line on the right-hand side, 3 on the line on the left. It's very unusual. Now they've spread them out.
Kelter restarts, it's not going to go 10. Australia played it, and it went forward again. A little bit sloppy from Australians for the first time in this final. If you're going to play it, you've got to be awake to that, and USA get the put into the scrum.
It just bounced just a little too high there for Politi. Very rare that the Australians make an error. Remind me a little bit of robots and how efficient they are at the structure that they play.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
New Zealanders stirring the pot here in this final. As Kelter puts a grubber kick through for the chip chase. It's going to sit up for Sykes though. She has Dom Dutoy on her outside. It went forward for the USA, and Cherry out to Dom Dutoy. Now she's got pace, Dom Dutoy, but she's going to be caught on the halfway line. And a really good tackle from Saskia Morgan, who's back on her feet. And then Emily Cherry tries to dive on the ball to recover possession. Back with Kaslik, two-handed carry, plenty of options out wide. Shannon Parry spots a little gap in the midfield. Parry needs help, or does she? Still going. Kelter makes the tackle. There for Politi. Politi, too high for Dutoy. Went backwards, now will play on. Emily Cherry has one on the outside. Cherry doesn't need sights, and Cherry goes in for Australia's fourth. It's all over by the shouting. Australia cruise control.
And even when the structure breaks down, they managed to pull something out of that, because so much strife across the park for Australia. Emily Cherry, she hasn't played very many minutes in this tournament. It means she's got fresh legs, ready to rock here in the final at Dubai. The United States did put a bit of pressure on, made it quite messy. Look at that, they were throwing their bodies left, right and centre. But when you've got Emily Cherry, former Women's Sevens Player of the Year, well, it's probably going to end up in more points.
Conversion attempt is going to fall short, 22 points to nil. And look, you might point to the fact that the United States are missing a couple of key strike runners, as Emily Cherry confirmation of 114 tries, still some way behind Portia Woodman. But you think Cheta Embe's not here, Kristen Thomas isn't here, and they would be key assets in attack and in terms of pace in this USA team, because without them, it's not the quickest. They built a foundation here based on physicality, and outworking the opposition just hasn't worked so far against Australia.
Look, and here Saskia Morgan was just too flat on that kick-off, and it went over her head. Really needed to be a little deeper.
Australia, stay.
Nicole Heberland, captain for the United States, to throw, and that wasn't straight. It's going from bad to worse for the United States of America.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're under the pump from a team like Australia. You're either tight and close with them, or you're going to put a wide gap on you. There's no real in between.
So it'll be Kaslik to feed the scrum.
Bind.
Emma Sykes standing directly behind her. Wide as Cherry, and widest of all is Dom Dutoy. Let's see what they can manage here. The pass might go to hand here for Dutoy if it goes out from Cherry. That's exactly what she's done. Dom Dutoy! Game, set, and match. USA are not coming back from this.
Masterclass in passing that. Every single pass was just outside the defence of the United States players. So have a look. The pass hits the outside, that first defensive player, and then on the outside is Dutoy. It's just brilliantly accurate passing, and then of course the speed that the Aussies are running onto it as well. Really is wonderful to watch.
It certainly is. And Sevens rugby at its absolute best here. Conversion attempt again fails to hit the target. 27 points to nil. This has been a rout.
The only way that you can compete with that is to anticipate that they're going wide and be right up flat. Yep. Cutting down the space for those Australian players.
Remember when Dom Dutoy broke into this Australian squad, she was only 17 and the youngest players on tour, but her potential was highlighted even back then. The last year and a half or so, she really has made a name for herself. Line out to Australia on the USA 22, Sykes to throw.
Number three, stop.
Jordan Gray's coming on to the field there for status. Interesting if she can make an impact in 2
I got
minutes
to be
left.
back on first, okay? One goes back on.
Australia, well, they've gone for a two-person line out, and Dom Dutoy is completely unmarked at the back. USA asleep at the wheel. It's a cup final. They've left it behind them. They haven't woke up. I think the New Zealand victory took an awful lot out of them. They struggled through the semi-final, but this has been a one-team show from the first minute. And Australia, Dom Dutoy with her 5th of the weekend, her 2nd of the match, home and hosed here.
Well, they promised they had a few new moves up their sleeves for this Dubai Sevens. That was one of them. So simple, it was crazy. The Americans had to mark up man on in that lineup. They didn't. And look at Dutoi. Great, couldn't get near it.
Sykes then with the conversion from underneath the post, and Australia increased their lead. A minute to go. United States, well, the passion and the smiles that we saw during the Stars and Stripes, the Star Spangled Banner, the anthem at the start, dissipated really when their first attack came to nothing. Australia went straight down the pitch and scored, and USA have not laid a glove on this Australia team in the final. Another carry from Parsons, but Evelyn to dig one out. Can the USA get off the mark here and just get a try to show for their efforts in this tournament? It would be a shame to be whitewashed in the final. Nice break by Kelsey Stocker to bring it into the Australian half, and should be still there for Evelyn. Parsons can't hold it, it's gone into touch.
That's the kind of play that the United States should have gone with at the beginning. Just more direct, go forward without the panic at the end. But, you know, when you're bringing in the energy off the bench, the impact can be made on fresh legs. Stockard doing really well there. Here, that was the right option, but unfortunately, Parsons just didn't have her hands up ready to take the pass.
Sykes again with a throw from the line out. Gathers the restart, there's the full-time hooter, if it goes wide, it should be it. The full-time whistle is gone, USA are out of their misery, and Australia champions in Dubai in the opening tournament of the 2018 season, and look what it means to them. Mel Robinson, your thoughts?
Congratulations to them. I looked at them on day one and thought they are the real deal. Ina Tonagato, they might not have Elliot Green, but she did the job and better for Australia this weekend. She was unbelievable, world-class, but through their whole squad, they do have world-class players there, like Giovanni Pelletti, Charlotte Haslick, of course, but what about their young players coming in? Emma Sykes, I mean, she is crazy good. She's a ball player and, you know, just so composed. This Australian team is going to be the one to beat this season.
Well, it's great for the series, isn't it? Because we saw Australia 2 seasons ago dominating right through to the Olympic Games where they won the gold medal. Last season, it was all about New Zealand. And now the tables have turned yet again, and you've got to tip your hat to Tim Walsh and the Australians, because they went back to the drawing board, they brought some players through, they worked on things that they needed to work. The physicality seems a lot better, their fitness and conditioning seems an awful lot better as well, and we are going to have a mighty tussle between the top 2 teams, I feel, for the rest of the season. Yeah,
you know, it's a pity that Australia didn't get to play New Zealand in this tournament, but that's the way it goes.
Shani, what a performance. You must be thrilled.
Yeah, absolutely, you know, ecstatic. The girls have put in so much hard work, and as I've said before, that preparation is definitely key, and, you know, having that off season was, you know, massive. You know, you have to hurt to achieve this, so these girls have really hurt for this moment, and it's bittersweet.
And didn't manage to pick up an event win on the series last time out, so how important was it this series that you started in the best possible way?
Oh, it's crucial. It's crucial for confidence, and it's, you know, crucial for building rugby as well. You know, it's just really exciting to get that win up, and yeah, we're really excited about it.
Congratulations, well played.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
They are still here for plenty more rugby, and then's resuming in a few minutes' time. Some cracking matches as well in the final session this evening. The customary photograph, though. Australia back in the winning enclosure after a long, tough, difficult season last year for them. Smiles all round, and why not? Australia, champions in Dubai, and how they have enjoyed it.